Well, you have so much that you're doing and so many contributions you've already made. But talk about your book. You have a book and it's available.
It's not my book.
From it.
It's not my book, but it's a book that was published, like, I believe 10 years ago. And what happened was, it's really interesting because a whole bunch of attorneys, they came together and they decided, immigration attorneys, they decided to do a book about immigration.
Perfect timing for that.
Right.
I mean, it always is, but especially now. These are all very relevant in 2022, going into 2023. Was there a book signing or?
Yes, it has been book signing. I haven't even been there for the book signing, but they had a wonderful photographer, and I was interviewed a few times by one of the entities there, and they chose me to represent Iran. And there were other women, like they were from Afghanistan, they were from Saudi Arabia, or they were in all that region, and also from Africa, all over, from South America. They were all women talking about their journey and why did they come to the United States and why did they have to go for green cards and why did their struggle basically. And each of those, and what at the time I reached out to those attorneys and I said, you know what, I want to make a movie out of this because I think this is a fascinating subject. I mean, I'm one of the subjects in the book. Yet again, there's 50 women in there. So that would be a wonderful story. Yet within them, within their own structure, they had to resolve some issues. Who said what, who did what, or however this was structured as a beautiful art book they created. And then eventually I saw there's a lot of communication back and forth, and I decided for now it would stay on the back burner till the right time comes.
But it will be made.
I hope so.
It could even be a limited series, right? Or a docu-series.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Be
because each of these women, they have stories to tell. And these stories are very powerful, and the journey they had and how they got to the United States and what they had to go through. Such as myself, when I came to the United States, it was hostage crisis. So at the peak of the hostage crisis, I'm an actor arriving.
Because you've been an actor all your life. You come from an acting family. And a show business family like me.
Yes, exactly. And so I come to the United States, hostage crisis. Everybody hates Iran and Iranian at that time. The media is all against Iran. And here I am, just an actor here, and I'm trying to break into some work in Hollywood. And so my book that I'm working on right now, and it's not ready, yet the title is registered From Stardom to Zero and Back. Yet on the back there is a big question mark.
Oh, and this is your autobiography.
Yes.
Okay, well, I have to host a book signing for this and ask you the questions. I've been doing a lot of the book signings and moderating, the Q&As with the authors, and it's something I really want to do. Plus working on my own book, which is many years in the future because I never get to it. I don't know. I've been working a little bit on it during the pandemic, but it's hard, because you have to not only carve out the time, but you have to face all those things. I find it to be it's like digging up emotion
And time that is invested. One thing that the world needs to realize, I think, what we had in Iran, and we were bombarded, the kingdom was bombarded, that it's a dictatorship, this and that and all that. They didn't realize where he was taking the path, the king of Iran. A magnificent father of his who built the new Iran, Reza Khan. And then after him, it was the king, the Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. And every step he took, it was for the benefit of the people. Ironically, now that we're pulling all the different footages of him being interviewed, that the way he speaks for the people, and some people, like especially the British media, they're asking him, why are they calling you the king of the kings? And the answer for him was, because every single member of Iranian community is a king and I am their king. And I want them to live like that, and I want them to have the benefit of all the insurances, and he did. He needed another 15 years in order to establish all and to bring it from the dark ages to something magnificent, with his wife giving freedom to women. I have a photo that I would send you. My mother is at the premiere of her film in 1962, and she looks like literally like Liz Taylor. The outfit on, and the king has gone to that theater in order to open the picture.
What was
that
the
she's
film?
starring
What was
in.
it called?
A Night in Lalazar. Lalazar is a section of Iran and Tehran. So that was it. It was a movie that I haven't even seen. I was a child when this came out. And those days there were no video and this and that to adapt it to. So this movie was a big movie with big star like my mom. So the king came to the theater in order to, and after he saw the film, he visited all the actors and the stars, and she's standing right in front of that. It just says where we were as women, as that country, at how amazing it was and how fast was going forward. Yet the whole world changed at the time of the revolution.
Yeah.
Religious revolution. Supported by few countries.
All in 1 year.
All in 1 year, by France, by England, United States, all. It's unfortunate. So it's like it happened that because what? Because of the oil. And this is the thing that I'm getting. I mean, when you get older and you go through all this experience year after year, my career was at the peak and it was going to get much better.
Yeah, she won Best Actress at the Moscow Film Festival for The Dead End.
For Dead End.
So you thought everything was
amazing.
just a clear path ahead.
I was in theater when that happened. I was in cinema. I was in television, popular. We had a show, very funny show called Octopus, and that was like Saturday Night Live then on black and white TV. So it just, my career was booming, and within my knowledge of my mom being an actor and being in the field, and then myself knowing ballet, piano, music, theater, cinema, and all that, I had a phenomenal future, which I wanted to work with great directors. As an actor, you know how it is important to work with the right directors and all that.
It's everything.
And
now you're a director yourself.
I'm directing myself,
which is the way to do it. You know, to get your own voice out there, your own stories.
But all that was taken away from me, and I'm not saying that's just an actor. This was for all the people, the best of doctors, engineers, all the brain in Iran. They had to run away. They couldn't stand that government, and people were being killed brutally by the communist regime. That was not
a lot of them came to California. I know quite a few. Yeah.
Yes, you know the story.
Now talk about your scarf, which is
scarf.
The flag and everything. This is.
I always wear this when I have an interview. I try to keep it with me handy. Well, the flag of Iran, originally for many 100 years and more, is red, green and white, which is a lot of flags that way. That color, Italy has it, Morocco has it. But the symbol in there for the Kingdom of Iran is this is a silk shawl, and it's the lion and the sun. So the lion is, I believe, I'm not sure, I cannot go this, but the lion is like the fighter, the man with the sword protecting the country, and the sun is behind it, which represents women to shine through. Yeah. And this is a gentleman named Kiani, I think it's based in Sweden, that he has created this and many others. So I always bring this by. It's just, I love this scarf. It's just a nice thing to have as me, that I have with my Iranian background.
Absolutely.
So just to...
Is there anything else you want to bring up in relation to the cat, or just as we move into 2023, and literally we're almost there now, and this is my last one-on-one interview that I know of for the rest of the year. I know this is my last one. What do you think is the future for the cat now that what do you want to have happen with the film besides getting it out there? Is there any plans to make a feature or
Not on cat. The cat is the name. The cat is the map of Iran.
Right.
Because the map of Iran, when I was going to school in Iran, they said, oh, the country's diameter is like a cat.
And I'm a cat, but not that.
Yeah, that's right.
With the game.
That's right.
So I relate to cats.
Yes, exactly. And so my intention is for this little film is to get the voice out there, and also I want everyone to watch it. And I always recommend, I said, if you put the cat, it's not going to come the cat. There are many cat stories. Just put my name first and then the cat, and you can see it online on YouTube. The message is powerful, and it's important for us to pay attention. The world must know that everything can change overnight. And it happened to us. It happened to us. It changed and it affected my family, my friends, the nation of Iran, and also the neighboring nations. It happened to, like right now, look at what's happening with Taliban and the women in Afghanistan. And also, just going in a parenthesis, I have a story of Afghani women beneath the veil as well.
Right.
So it's just, I have covered that part of it as well about a woman doctor. And so Taliban is forcing women as of yesterday or today that they can't go to the universities anymore. It's like everything is against women, you know. And this poor lady is saying, like, what are they gonna, rule next? That when a girl is being
Even
born,
with Roe
bury
v.
her.
Wade being overturned, right? Exactly. Everything really went backwards this year.
Also, when we look at our history for the past, almost 20 years, I mean, 9/11 happened. Why did it happen? Who was supporting it? Who was paying for that? So we have to be super careful because, as I always say, if we just turn our head and say, it's not our problem, we're safe in America, which I don't think we are. We're safe in America, let's not pay attention to it. It's going to come knock on our door. And it's going to be our child. It's going to be our mom or husband or son. It's going to come. So we have to be aware of all this and take the next step and next action. And who's our president? Who's our congressperson? And reach out to them. Don't let them get away with it. The more pressure we put, the more understanding comes out of it, hopefully, and awareness. And they do something about it, hopefully.
Well, thank you so much. And I can't wait for everyone to see the cat multiple times. And we've got to get it out there and screen it. I'm excited about the future for it and for you and what you're doing.
Thank you so much, and thank you for all you do and all the activity and the organizations and all your involvement. I'm so pleased to be with you on this interview.
You too.
Very much. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.